Hi folks, Brad here with Camo Camping and Fun. I went to do this video yesterday and it was minus, what was it, minus 10 C's out, but with the wind chill factor it was like minus 20. So that didn't go well. I did go for a walk anyways, but the problem was I had the right layers on, but it was one of the layers that wasn't ventilated properly. So I'm gonna go for another walk today with some different gear on and see how it goes from there. I'm just going to turn you around a sec, give you a shot of the field there. There's a deer. I don't know, you probably can't see it with this camera, but there's a deer way off in the distance there out in the field. And there's the old cow out there. And so this is what it's like today. It's kind of nice out. So I'm going to go for a walk and see how it goes with this layering system, then show it to you. I'm just going to show you, I'm taking my Georgia boots for a walk today. I don't know if you can even see them there, but yeah, and I'll talk about breaking those things in. So stay with me. So I just wanted to show you the setup I had for today to go for a walk. You don't need all this stuff, but it's just practice for, you know, bug out and all that kind of thing. But it's actually a good idea to go, if you're going down the road where there's going to be nobody, basically to have some kind of equipment on. And I was saying the other day that it kind of failed, because I had a puffy jacket on, a nice LL Bean one, but it actually caught all the moisture inside by the time I got back home. So you would have been in big trouble if you would have been in the bush somewhere. I'll just start off by maybe getting some of this getup off. I didn't have this balaclava on. This one I made custom. As you can see, it's got some nose holes and that, mouth holes, because your glasses fog up. But I almost needed this, but I'll show you why I didn't when I came back. It worked out pretty good. Just give me a sec here. I'll pull this menagerie off without ripping my glasses right off. But yeah, I even wore a ventilated hat to let the heat off a little bit through my head. Because I was sweating the other day, but of course the winds being 50 clicks or better, it was really nasty. It wasn't too bad this morning coming back, but what saved me was the design of this Helicon Tech SAS smock. Because I could do it up to here, it sort of saved my face a little bit. The nose bone and cheeks were a little cool, but other than that, it was fine in the wind, and it's pretty well. It's below freezing right now. It's cold. It was so cold in here. I had to go in the house to get my hands warm. But this is. I'll put this in the camera here if you can see it. This is a little carabiner setup that I did for my gloves. There's a carabiner hook down at the side of these things, way down here, but reaching around to get at your gloves back there is a pain, right? So I just put a little tab here to hook my carabiner to, right? And one of my little tricks up my sleeve is to put, and of course I sew these onto most of my gloves. These are like extra large gloves, and I use the little dollar store gloves to go inside, of course, and up and around. And I mean, all this stuff is fairly elementary, but if you didn't have those little gloves on in there, your hands would be a little bit cool. Where I was walking, I was carrying my stick, so your hand would get kind of cold. But with that kind of insulation on, you're good to go. So I'll just peel off a couple layers here, and I'll show you what's going on. This thing here is all ventilated. I might have shown this before. Ventilated here, and it's ventilated for pit zips here, which I had open for my walk. So basically, that works out really great. It's all ventilated mesh inside here. And the hood's all cinchable, so that was nice and tight. And the cuffs are all cinchable, so that was nice. And this is just, instead of having everything military, which I have a lot of, this is just I believe it's a Cabela's, oops, I dropped your smock. Just a Cabela's fleece, but it's kind of unique. It has the heavy duty Berber type fleece inside, and kind of a knit, as you can see there on the outside. So basically, I like that kind of stuff because if it's all fuzzy on the outside like regular fleece, it can get caught on your jacket going in and out. And that's the next trick, is one of these little fleece. This is just a fleece. I don't know if you can see it here. It's just a micro fleece, little fuzzy micro fleece shirt. And it's smooth on the outside. So it going in your sleeves when you're sliding in against Berber fleece, if it was the fuzzy fleece, it grabs like crazy. Now that was the thing I didn't do the other day. I wore a very thin wicking shirt, the Canadian Forces stuff, and then I wore this on top, but I had the little puffy jacket, really nice one, but I bought, I don't know, 25 years ago, over top of this. And so it trapped too much moisture underneath. Now, normally, if I was going out in the bush, I'd have a little small backpack if I was doing some kind of bushcraft or just hanging out or making a coffee or whatever. I would bring that in a pack. But I just tested it because it was so cold, being 10 below with 10 C below with 20 below wind. I just thought, well, I might need that extra layer, and I did. It was cold. Now, had I had this layer on, though, I probably would have been a little cooler, but when you got walking for a while, you start to heat up, right? So today I was fine. The only thing I did was close up my vents when I was coming back against the wind down the road. So that worked out pretty good. The other thing that I have on is some Russian Army. So I'll back up so you can see. These are Russian Army wind pants. So I'll probably have to see if I can move the camera down here and show you guys. So these are Russian Army wind pants. There you go. My belt, I always offset the buckle. But they have vents. Let's see what I do here. They have vents right here, as well as pockets here. And the pockets on the inside are mesh. They have reinforced, so I can get down and show you this so that get the light on. They have the reinforced knees here with the nylon on top and a reinforced seat. And they also have some nice big cargo pockets. I'm gonna put you back down here. So yeah, hopefully I got enough light in this place. It's difficult getting light. I had to change the lights in the garage and I got a couple big spotlights on over there. But other than that, the only thing I don't like about them, they got a snap and a Velcro and a zipper. So that's all really nice. They're super light and they're totally breathable because I believe it's the 5th layer the Russian Army uses. And I bought all this stuff before the wars and all that stuff, but I had a jacket, which I don't know if I showed you that yet. I don't think so. There was a jacket and pants and a crazy looking hat. And it was their breathable layer for wind, basically wind pants like the Canadian Army wind pants. I'm starting to think I like these better than the actual Canadian Army wind pants, and they're unbelievable, fantastic, the wind pants. But because of the ventilation at the sides and all that, it makes it a real bonus for those things, right? The only thing I don't like, I'll show you this here now, that I'm freezing myself to death here. If I can get my freaking thing off. Yeah, this thing, I don't know, I must have bought this thing maybe 20 years ago. You can still get good stuff like that, but it's, you know, and the Helicon jacket, you can get those from offduty.ca in New Liskeard. You might as well, you know, drive to Mars, it's so far north, but they're super nice people to deal with. I've met the owners personally at the Sportsman show, and they actually gave me a deal on that smock. I didn't pay full pop for that with tax on the inside and all that, but they actually recognized my name when I told them who I was because of my orders from them in the past. And super nice people to do business with anyways. The only thing that I was saying I don't really like that much is these suspenders. They hook up great inside the pants and everything, but they're just stretchy materials, so they don't really do anything. And I'm gonna do a thing on suspenders later on, just to show you folks some of the problems you can have with suspenders that nobody actually talks about. So I'm going to show you what I carry in my pockets. So just let me, just give me a second and I'll set the camera up for it. Okay, so this is basically what I carry in my pockets. Just a simple neck warmer And this I carry on my belt, just a rescue tool, the whistle. And of course a spare pair of the little fuzzy mitts in case they get damp. Top pocket of the smock, right as rain notepad and some pens and markers, and a pencil, mechanical pencil, and of course an emergency poncho. I put one of those in everything. And of course the other pocket, I've got some wipers, some hand wipers, some Kleenex, and a little bottle of sanitary spray. You could just get these little bottles at surplus stores and that, and put alcohol in them if you want, and a lighter with a carbiner. Now, inside the smock pocket, if I can, there it is, if I can get a shot of that, there's a little hook. You can put your lighter or compass or something like that. I'll show you this. There's that little hook on the smock for your carbiner, and there is side pockets as well there on the big cargo pockets on the bottom. Next here is just a pair of mechanics gloves, you know, the rubber gloves, just in case you got to deal with something mucky. And something mucky with those gloves as well, you can use these things. A lot of people use those for all kinds of mucky stuff, and they're kind of disposable. Wallet, of course, and it's got identification and some aspirins in it because I'm an old guy. Just a rag for your pocket. It's always good to have one of those for your nose. And these are actually just little cut-off ends of socks with the hand warmers in them. So there's 2 hand warmers in there and 2 sock things, because you shouldn't put that stuff right against your hands if you have to use one to get your hands warm, of course. And you're supposed to actually slide them up above your wrists, I found out recently, up your sleeve instead of just on your hand. But yeah, other than that, that's what I carry in my pockets. And my phone, of course. But you don't need a whole lot of stuff to go on a walk. You don't need all this stuff. It's just, again, it's like just to make sure you're safe. And you can, you know, stay alive. And I usually carry a walking stick too sometimes, if I'm not carrying a camera. And of course, a broken tripod. But, you know, that's the way it goes. So thanks very much for watching, folks. And you have yourself a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love when you like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, if you can, talk to your friends, see if I can get a few more subscribers. It would be really nice. And you have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one.